Are you ready for a new story? Thank you. In the forgotten folds of Elderberry, time moved with the lethargy of the river that cut across its heart. A small, unremarkable town where stories seldom began. Tobias Quill, the town's clockmaker, a man of precision and sparse words, lived amongst the relics of time. His fingers, calloused by the gears of countless timepieces, had learned to speak the language of ticks and tocks better than that of men. Each day, Quill's routine was as predictable as the chime at noon, until one evening, when the autumn air was thick with the promise of rain, he encountered an anomaly within the casing of an old clock, a mechanism that was decidedly not of his world. This device, concealed beneath layers of dust and cobwebs, hummed with an unnatural rhythm, its pulse synchronized with neither seconds nor minutes. Curious, a sentiment Quill rarely indulged, gnawed at him. He tinkered with the mechanism, his hands guided by a force beyond his understanding, as if the clock itself wished to be understood. And then, in a moment that was as silent as a breath, the world around him stilled. The reckless ticking ceased, and with it, time halted. Elderberry lay suspended, its people frozen like figures in a painting, yet Quill moved freely, a lone actor on a motionless stage. He wandered the streets, the power of absolute time at his fingertips, and a sense of solitude that gnawed at his soul. As days passed, or did they merely seem to, Quill's initial wonderment soured to despair. He realized that a world without the progression of time was a world devoid of life's essence. He returned to his shop, determined to undo what he had done, but the mechanism, once a beacon of mystery, now jeered at him with its complexity. It was then that he understood the cruelty of his gift, a cage gilded with the gold of omnipotence. Quill worked through the stillness, his hands driven by a desperation of a man who longed to hear the morning's first chirp or the laugh of children at play. His shop became a canvas of his torment, gears and springs scattered amidst scribbled notes and half-formed plans. As the first light of dawn peeked through the shutters, Quill, with trembling hands, made one final adjustment. The mechanism whirred to life, a sound so sweet yet so fleeting. Time rushed back to its rightful rhythm, the town awakening in a symphony of mundane melodies. The clockmaker, once an orchestrator of time, now watched it flow past him, a river that he could no longer dam. He stepped out of his shop, feeling the age in his bones and the weight of his choices. Elderberry moved on, untouched and unaware of the stillness it had known. But Tobias Quill had crossed a threshold from which he would never return. He looked up at the sky, the clouds sailing swiftly across the horizon, and smiled, a smile of surrender to the grand tapestry of time, for he had touched the eternal, only to find beauty in the transient. And as the sun rose, heralding the start of a new day, the clockmaker's heart, finally in sync with the world's pulse, beat its last. The town would whisper his name for generations, the clockmaker who gave his life to give them back their time. And in the center of Elderberry, the old clock stood silent, a testament to the man who had conquered time only to become its most devout servant. Right on time.
Perfect timing.
Thank you.
I'm liking that you're bending into the storytelling genre.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, next up I would welcome John to the mic. John's going to be our feature poet next week, so let's get a little preview. Here's John.